Yo guys, what's poppin'? I wanted to bring you a video here to kinda show you an example making of a deck with the cards that I unpacked in the last video. Now if you remember in the last video I kind of explained how you get approximately 421 vials per pack if you disenchant everything. However, if you don't disenchant anything, your pack's worth about 1400 vials. So a lot of the time it's going to be extremely worth to never disenchant your cards, right? Sorry for the lag here, I'm just using an emulator to kind of show this off. Yeah, basically what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to try and make a deck, a decent deck, nothing like super fancy, with hopefully disenchanting as little cards as possible. Now what I already did is I looked through every card I had and did all the adding up of how much my total collection is worth so far, and it actually came to 46,000, which is a little bit above average. I'll put up the numbers here on the screen real quick. So yeah, I'm gonna just try and do this example deck right here, and I'll leave the counter up there to kind of show you how my account worth is dwindling in terms of vials as I disenchant cards. So real quick, looking at the legendaries I have 2 Swordcraft legendaries and 1 Runecraft. So this really makes me want to say, hey, I'm gonna make a Swordcraft deck. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Merlin, I don't really like that card. You can read what the card does, but I'm not much of a Runecraft fan, so I won't be using it. And as you can see, a lot of vials just went away. But that's alright, you know, I'm just trying to make my first deck here. I'm gonna look at the golds. What I want in my Swordcraft deck is this Alwida's Command, because it is a really good card, especially for face Swordcraft. And when you're first making out these decks, try, if you're net decking, try and make a cheaper deck, or a deck that you can build upon. So if you go like an aggro blood or aggro shadow, you can have other cards for it for like mid-range or control, but you're going to be starting with aggro, alright, because it's basically the cheapest. Of course there are some decks like Forest Roach and Tempo, Runecraft, they're not like terribly expensive, but for most classes I would say definitely just make a aggro deck and try and build upon it with other cards. So right here, I would kind of want to keep all the golds here if possible. We can come back to it later, but as I explained in the last video, your biggest bang for your buck will be the silvers. So I'm gonna go ahead and liquify just real quick all the silvers that I know I'm not going to be using. A lot of these neutral ones, a lot of the ones that I already know aren't really the best, and I probably won't be using them a lot. So yeah, let's get into this. Something you might want to do is, if you've narrowed it down to the 3 crafts you kind of want to start building your deck upon, you can go up here to the filters, alright? And let's say I want to do Swordcraft, Shadowcraft, and Havencraft, alright? I can filter to all the other ones, all the other crafts, and just start going ahead and disenchanting pretty much everything I see here. If I know a card's super worth, like if you look at a card and it looks really good, like Piercing Rune here, if you look at this is a pretty good card, alright? You can get a 1 cost, 2 damage to the face, 2 damage to minion. That's a pretty good card. It's really good. It goes with other cards for combos. You can search online, see if the card, go ahead and go on Game Press. Just look the card up, see if it's any good, alright? And if you don't see the card being used in any deck, you can go ahead and disenchant it. I would try not to disenchant anything you don't need, because the next expansion that card could just become a lot better, because you never know what the next expansion is going to be having in store for you. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and disenchant all the cards here that I know I'm not going to be using. Oh shit. Alright, now, if you paid attention to the video, you saw I actually crafted some cards. Do not do that. I just wasn't paying attention. So, since I already have one Albert, alright, let's look at all the cards. I already have one Albert, but the top tier deck uses 3, alright? Keep in mind, I only opened the 30 free packs that you get, and you get more free packs just for playing the game. You get Take 2 tickets, etc. So the biggest worthwhile investment would be make the 2 golds that I currently need. So I'm gonna make them. And then hopefully I will pull out another Albert. And if I don't, then I can just disenchant more silvers and hopefully I'll get what I need. So, oh yeah, and what's also nice, Aurelia, alright. Look it up. I just looked it up. It's part of mid-range and control decks for Swordcraft, alright. So I already have one in my collection. And it'll help me just, you know, slowly build up my collection of cards. If you're re-rolling, definitely I would try and get 2 legendaries, 2 good legendaries that you need for your class. So in this next part, I'm just kind of making a deck, and the only thing you really need to pay attention is if you're net decking for whatever first deck that you're making, then you really want to make sure that you get in all the cards that you currently have, which you'll probably have a few silvers, hopefully some golds that you can put in there, whether you pulled them from a pack or you crafted them. And for the most part, if you don't have all the cards that you need, say you need some more legendaries or something, then definitely try and just play around with your deck and see what you can and can't use. Go into ladder, see if you like it or not, because when you first start out, it's not like you're going to be going against the top of the top decks with the best players, alright? This is the part where you're trying to just slowly build up your collection and hopefully improve at the game and have fun with it, you know. A lot of the fun in this game is kind of theory crafting decks with the cards that you have and not just going with the best cards that you can get. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll leave a link to the deck that I made so you can kind of use it for reference. Keep in mind the counter at the top and how it compares to the 46,000 that you saw in the beginning. Cygames, when they give you these free packs in the beginning, they're basically throwing money at you. And when you disenchant a bunch of cards, you're basically getting rid of a lot of that money. And so I hope it's just a different perspective that you can kind of see, and how important it is to kind of collect cards instead of just disenchanting everything that you need for a new deck that you might want. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you next time. Peace.